Hops and hit points. What is it? What it is I'm gonna drink a beer and we're gonna talk about video game related stuff for like 15 minutes. And then every week it'll be a different beer. I'll rate the beer and then we'll talk about stuff. What do you guys think? Stupid? Cool? Are you interested? Now, every week after this week, I'm gonna have a wheel. I'm gonna spin it and it'll sick. Yeah. So that's great. Your boy, how did you run out, man? Welcome, Josh. Welcome to this brand new segment. So this week, I've already picked out a topic. Next week, I'm going to spin a wheel to pick out the topic. But this week's topic is this. I don't know if you guys can see that okay. What 5 forms of media would you give your younger self to live by, and why? We got a book, movie, game, TV show, band, or song. So, let's pour up. Hopefully I don't get too many bubbles. Berry Monkey. How is it? Do you like it? 9.5, huh? That's pretty strong. This one is 6%. All right. So, good. So let's start this conversation. What 5 forms of media would you give your younger self to live by, and why? For book, I think I would pick. Honestly, I would probably pick Halo Reach or Halo Fall of Reach, because that was one of the books that I read as a kid that I really enjoyed because it had a lot of different aspects to it. It had like hardship and sacrifice and stuff like that. And it's definitely one of those books that I always remember. Now, but that's close. There's a couple books that I would probably pick between, but I think that one's probably the most all around like life lessons in that book that I would pick. Yeah. I think my favorite part in that book, I don't know if you guys have read it, but Sam, which is John, whom is Master Chief's best friend, ends up sacrificing himself because he ends up having like something happen. I'm not gonna spoil it, but that's one of the best scenes of a book that I've ever read. And there's so much other stuff that happens in that book that's just very encouraging and kind of like helpful for life, I think. Yeah, it's a great book. So if you haven't read that, I would suggest to read it. Now for movie's tough because there's not a ton of movies that are super impactful to me. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go. It might be pretty basic, but I think I'm gonna go with Fight Club as the movie to live off of, because that movie is so interesting. It's got so many different aspects to it, and like kind of teaches you a lot about like how society is kind of fucked and to not trust anybody, sometimes not even trust yourself. So I think Fight Club would be the pick for me for movie. And it's such a good movie as well. Like I said, it's got so many different aspects to it. It's either that or Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's a great movie too, but I think I'm gonna stick with Fight Club. If you haven't seen Fight Club, you gotta watch it, obviously. Good beer. Good beer. Now, video game. Video game is extremely tough to pick. I'm not gonna pick an MMO though. Normally, I would say just Old School RuneScape because I learned so much stuff through Old School RuneScape growing up, such as not to trust people with, your gear or follow people out in the wild and stuff like that. It is a great bunch of lessons learned from RuneScape, for sure. But I'm going to try to pick something like more story based and stuff and kind of that way, because it's the question is kind of like, what would you want your younger self to know and stuff like that. So I think for video game, I think I'm gonna pick Fable because it gives you a lot of and I'm choosing a lot of stuff that's like life choices and kind of experiencing the world and stuff. And I think Fable's got a lot of that. At least growing up when I played Fable, it had choices of, killing your best friend or taking the money and stuff like that. And I think that's a great lesson on its own. And then, you know, deciding between power and family and stuff like that. I think that's also a great like deciding factor. So, um I think Fable would be the game that I would pick. And TV show. What TV show would I pick? Now, that could also be an anime or cartoon or whatever. Hmm. There's so many TV shows that are great, like life lessons. But, I think I'm gonna have to go with the pride and true of yeah, the Fable remake was a little disappointing, but it wait, which the remaster? Sorry, we'll go back to Fable for a second here. You think the remaster was disappointing? What's up, Xavier? Are you talking about the new Fable? Okay, no worries. Gotcha. All right, we're gonna move on then. So Xavier, welcome in. This is a new segment of the stream. I'm gonna ramble on, and then once I'm done, I'd love to hear your guys's. So this is a new segment of the stream. This is Hops and Hit Points, where I drink a beer and I talk about stuff. We'll talk for a few minutes here, and then after we're done talking, you guys can give your answer. The question that we have is right above me. It's what 5 forms of media would you give your younger self to live by and why? Right now I'm on TV show, and I think the best TV show to go by for a kid or for growing up, I think it's just gonna have to be Sesame Street. Honestly, Sesame Street teaches you so much stuff. It's all around good. Um, and there's so many different characters that that teach you things. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Sesame Street. Um, little based, but I think it's a good pick. I think Sesame Street's the winner for TV shows. SpongeBob, huh? SpongeBob's a good one. SpongeBob's been around for so long. Yeah. I think Sesame Street's such a good one because it talks about death and stuff like that. It talks about like real life situations too, and not just like having fun or counting to 10, you know? Yeah, a lot of stuff happened on Sesame Street. So I think that's a great, like, for my younger self as developing young adult, Sesame Street is a great pick. Now, band or song? Band or song, honestly, I don't think I would be the person I am today without having Disturbed as a band growing up. I think Disturbed is my favorite band. They're the band that I could always listen to, and they've got so many different songs with different meanings and stuff like that. They've got the hardcore shit. They've got, softer stuff. It's just an all-around good band, and I don't think I could be who I am without Disturbed. So, I think I'm gonna go with Disturbed for the band or song. Yeah, it's a great band. So, those are my answers. Does anybody want to go separately or anything? Or what do you guys think? What are some of your guys' answers? And what do you think about this segment? Should we do it every week? I'm thinking about doing it every Saturday. We'll do this. Let me know if you guys love it or hate it or you think it's awesome. But I'm going to stop the recording. I am going to post this on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube later, this is during the Saturday stream. So if you'd like to be a part of the conversation, jump in the Saturday stream and we'll do this every week. So thank you, YouTube, for watching. But I'm gonna have everyone else talk about it. And then eventually I would love to have people actually like jump in Discord and have a conversation with it. So yeah, that's it. This is Hops and Hit Points. I'm gonna improve it. I'm still gonna stay live. I'm still being live. This is just the halfway, like, intermission on the stream. Hey there, everybody. What you just watched is Hops and Hit Points. It's a new segment I'm gonna be doing on my stream every Saturday. Take a little bit of an intermission break, drink a beer, talk about some stuff. Usually, more than likely, it's gonna be video game related stuff. Either video games, a what if question, something along those lines. And yeah, we'll just enjoy a beer, talk about some stuff. Eventually, I'd like it to where I can add a viewer into the conversation, jump on Discord or something like that, and have a chat, have a conversation of some sort. So if you guys are interested in being a part of that or anything, jump into the Saturday streams. It'll be about an hour into the stream is when I do those segments. And then, yeah, pretty much it's just going to be us talking. I do realize that during this first one, I forgot to rate the beer. The beer is a 8 out of 10. Very good, delicious. I love it. I'm definitely going to get more of that beer. But then next week we'll be trying a different beer and going through that. So I appreciate everyone for watching if you're still here. And I'll hopefully see you guys on the next stream.